good, ladies and gentlemen? You're back with another craft beer review with the Kissy Cousins from Off the Tap. This week, huge collaboration. We have DESTIHL Brewery, and we also have Octopi Brewing. All right, so they got together, and why don't you go ahead and read what we're doing today?
They basically created a skinny jeans.
A skinny jeans, if you are unfamiliar, when I first started dating my girlfriend, the bar that she was waitressing at the time, everyone called me skinny jeans because I wear skinny jeans. It's just what I do. So then they created a drink. It was basically a pineapple upside down cake on steroids. I'm not going to tell you the recipe. I did a cocktail on it a couple of months ago. Go check that out. It was over the summer. Real fun. And basically this is the beer version of that.
It even says pineapple upside down cake. Berliner style. Weiss
beer.
So it's basically a German style beer with pineapple, sweet cherries, and lactose.
Yeah. So,
Damn.
Octopi opened up in 2015. And do you know where they're from?
I don't.
You told me, but I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I think it's like Wanaki.
Wanaki is, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like Wanaki or something along those lines. It's a weird, messed up name. You know, there's a lot of those out there. Like,
Let's see if
we have so many in Wisconsin, it's ridiculous. Like Calcahoon.
Kakona. Yeah. So this place actually, this beer itself was brewed and canned from DESTIHL Brewery, which is in Normal, Illinois, which doesn't seem like a real place.
Nothing's normal there.
Normal, Illinois. Actually, we're in the middle of trying to start beef between Wisconsin breweries and Illinois breweries. We just thought it'd be really fun. So our neighbors to the south have to pay way more in taxes, so why wouldn't they just smarten up and open the brewery up here where the beer's better anyway?
Yeah, leave your home. Like, who cares about it?
Yeah, leave your home. Forget it. Just move.
Just move.
Come to Wisconsin.
All right, back on track.
Back on track. So, this place has, I'm just going to read verbatim what you have here because there's a lot of numbers. 50 barrel, 4-vessel brew house. So 50 barrel, 4-vessel brew house. Explain what that means.
It's basically your fermenting tanks and stuff, so they can produce 50 barrels at a time.
Okay.
So that's basically it.
All right, and then a 70 barrel whirlpool.
That is where all the beer comes in and they whirlpool it back together with like the hops and stuff, and they're basically adding flavor.
All right,
That's
so
it.
65,000 annual barrels.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I mean,
that's basically...
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of bigger ones where they're at 100,000+, but for a small brewery and stuff, that's pretty decent size.
And the name comes from the plural name of...
Octopus.
Why? Did you find that out? You did your research for me on this beer.
I didn't. It's just... That's all it came... Like, when I researched it, it said octopi. The plural name for... octopus. That was it. I'm like, oh, cool.
So, we kind of alluded to it. The reason why Octopi opened up in Wisconsin is because of the much smaller tax on beer.
Yep, beer. Believe it or not, Wisconsin is the cheapest place
in all
beer
the
taxes.
country.
Yep, for beer taxes.
I did not know that.
Well, I love living here for a reason.
Yeah,
it's beer. It
is interesting, like I mentioned earlier. The same bar that my girlfriend worked at years and years ago, the place is right next to Lambeau Field. So they would get so many different people that would come in from all over the country, you know, Giants fans, Chicago, and those people would just show up, and they did raise, a lot of the bars around here raise the prices for game day. So your average Coors Light is probably going to be between $3.25.
But it's still cheap.
And $3.25 and maybe $3.75, and then they would jack it up to about $5.25 for game day. And these people would come from New York, and they'd be like, they would just tip like crazy because they couldn't believe how cheap the beer was. And we're sitting here like, yeah, well, you know, sons of bitches jacked it up for game day, and they're coming over here like, well, usually we pay $14 for a Coors Light, and I'm like,
I would never pay that much for a beer. Like, it's crazy. Like, you see that too. It's just like jacked up skyrocket. It's like locals hate it.
Right.
Like, we hate it. Like, dude, I want my $3.50 beer.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, I don't know. Like, that's a great reason to get into business in a certain place.
Right.
You're
They did their
saving
research.
money.
They did their research.
Because like they were actually right on the other side of the border, basically.
Mhm.
So they're like, you know what? We pay
They came
almost
to
twice.
the right side.
We right. We pay almost double down in Illinois for taxes. Where if we go travel 2 hours maybe or whatever, and it's fraction of the cost. That's awesome.
Pretty much. What do we know about this beer?
It's a 4%, 4.5%, 4 IBUs. No bitterness really is what I'm going for in this. It smells pretty sour. It has that bacteria smell to it to me.
Yeah.
Like hints of it with some cherry. That's all I'm getting out of it. I don't really get. I get some citrus, which
I get a little pineapple. Not a lot. It's hints of it, but
yeah,
it's
just
mostly
hints.
cherry.
Most of it's cherry and
bacteria.
smell. So let's give her the beans.
All right.
Here's to you. Here's to me. Oh, dude. You know, I'm not the flavor of what it should be. I'm not getting it.
No.
But at the same time, zero bitterness.
It's very subtle. It's on my tongue, and it's like the aftertaste is where I get the pineapple upside down. But it is very, 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 very subtle.
Yeah.
So this is not. The taste definitely is not there for what exactly it's supposed to be. It's not distinct. It's not like punching you
Don't
in
get
the
me wrong,
face.
it's drinkable.
I really like this.
Like, this
I
is
just
definitely a light summertime drinkable. It's kind of sweet, though.
Mhm.
So you can't have more than, like, probably 3 or 4 of them. But a beginner could...
For a guy from Wisconsin, obviously. You have to switch over to something else.
Something heavier.
Yeah, something heavier.
But,
It's very
Yes.
low in ABV, so it's not going to kick your ass. What I'm getting at, though, is it's very subtle with the aftertaste of the actual pineapple and cherry. It's a little disappointing. However, this really does taste really good as just a sour itself.
yeah. Like, I wouldn't even have claimed that there was that stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just did a Berliner-style white sour beer, and that's it.
Yeah,
Call it what it is and be done.
that would have been fine. It has a little
But
bit of a hint.
drinkability, I think a beginner could, if you're trying to get into a sour, definitely able to do so with this beer.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, like,
I just
Yeah,
want
it's like-
more of that.
it's like, yeah, the bacteria's there on the smell, but you don't
Not-
taste any
not
of
taste.
it.
Because when I get that hint of it, it definitely
And
has
it's a
the.
kettle sour.
It almost reminds me of like when it's really shitty outside and you're like, oh yeah, it wants to rain. It's like
But it
when
never does.
When I taste this, I'm just like, oh yeah, it really wants to taste really like a pineapple upside down cake. But
I
it's
feel like this is a kettle sour just because you're not getting that full bacteria. Like, you're getting the smell, but the kettle sour I brewed, it has a lot of this flavoring, and like I did tart cherries, and it has a lot of this flavor in it, like where it's not very robust on the front end, but once it's in, it tastes good.
yeah, no, it's a good beer. It tastes good. I definitely don't think it tastes how it's supposed to, but here we are. So you guys know the drill. We're the Kissing Cousins. Hit us up on all of our social media. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that bell for the notifications twice a week. We've got more content coming. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DESTIHL Brewing pairing up in a collaboration with Octopi for the pineapple upside down cake, Berliner style Weiss. Keep her tuned.